A nation mourns the passing of a president. America paused on a crisp January morning. The nation gathered to say goodbye to a president. More than that, the country mourned a man who had lived a life far beyond the political. Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States, had died peacefully at the age of 100. His journey from the peanut farms of Plains, Georgia to the White House and beyond had been one of unwavering faith, quiet courage, and a deep commitment to service. The nation's capital, so often a stage for ambition and power, became a place of reflection and remembrance. The majestic Washington National Cathedral, bathed in winter sunlight, welcomed dignitaries and ordinary citizens alike. They came to pay their respects to a leader who had always championed the common man, a president who believed in the transformative power of peace and the enduring strength of goodness. Carter's presidency, though brief, had left an indelible mark. His commitment to human rights, his tireless efforts to broker peace in the Middle East, and his unwavering belief in diplomacy over conflict had set a new standard for global leadership. Yet, it was his life beyond the Oval Office that truly captured the nation's imagination. As the funeral service began, a hush fell over the assembled mourners. The weight of history, the solemnity of the occasion, and the legacy of a remarkable life filled the hallowed halls of the cathedral. Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer turned president, was home. The soaring strains of Amazing Grace filled the cathedral. The familiar hymn, a favorite of Carter's, seemed to encompass the spirit of the man himself, humble, resolute, filled with a quiet strength that resonated with people from all walks of life. The music, both grand and intimate, provided a fitting backdrop for a service that was as much a celebration of a life well lived as it was a mourning of a life lost. The choir, their voices a symphony of sorrow and hope, rendered other hymns that held special meaning for the former president and his family. Come Thou Almighty King, a hymn of praise and surrender, reflected Carter's deep Christian faith, a faith that had guided him through triumphs and setbacks alike. The poignant melody of Be Still My Soul offered comfort and solace, reminding those gathered of the peace that surpasses all understanding. The scripture readings, carefully chosen to reflect Carter's life and beliefs, provided further solace and inspiration. Reading from the Gospels of John and Romans, passages that spoke of love, forgiveness, and the enduring power of faith. The words resonated deeply, echoing Carter's own commitment to social justice and his belief in the inherent dignity of all people.
The Beatitudes, with their message of humility, compassion, and the pursuit of righteousness, had served as a guiding light for Carter throughout his life.
They were a testament to his belief that true leadership lay not in the pursuit of power, but in the service of others. The hymns and scriptures, interwoven with prayers and moments of quiet reflection, created an atmosphere of profound reverence and gratitude. They painted a vivid portrait of a man who had striven to live his faith, to embody his values, and to leave the world a better place than he found it. Throughout his life, Jimmy Carter's faith was not a private matter. It was the bedrock of his being, the lens through which he viewed the world, and the driving force behind his tireless work for peace and justice. Raised in the small rural community of Plains, Georgia, Carter's faith was nurtured in the warmth and familiarity of the local Baptist church. It was there, amidst the hymns and sermons of his youth, that the seeds of his deep and abiding faith were sown. Carter's commitment to his faith only deepened over time. He became a deacon and Sunday school teacher at Maranatha Baptist Church, sharing his knowledge and love of the Bible with generations of parishioners. Even as the demands of his political career grew, Carter made time for his church, teaching Sunday school nearly every week, even during his years in the White House. His dedication to his faith was evident in his actions as well as his words. Carter lived a life guided by the principles of honesty, integrity, and compassion. He treated those around him, from world leaders to the most vulnerable members of society, with respect and dignity. His faith was not a shield, but a sword, a call to action, a mandate to fight for the poor, the oppressed, and the marginalized. His commitment to his faith continued into his final years. Even as his health declined, Carter found solace and strength in his relationship with God. He continued to teach Sunday school at Maranatha Baptist Church until his late 90s, his lessons a testament to his enduring faith and his desire to share his love of the Scriptures with others. Section 4. Grandson's Tributes, a Legacy of Love and Service. The most poignant tributes to Jimmy Carter came from his grandsons Josh and Jason, who offered intimate glimpses into the man behind the public persona.
My grandfather's unwavering dedication to his faith was something truly remarkable. I remember his Sunday school lessons, which he continued even during the tumultuous years of his presidency and well into his 90s. His humility, his genuine interest in others, and his belief in the power of love to overcome even the most daunting challenges were just a few of the things that made him so special.
Jason Carter, his voice filled with pride, spoke of his grandfather's life as a testament to God's goodness.
My grandfather's life truly reflected the essence of the popular Christian song, Goodness of God. It was one of his favorites, and it mirrored his own journey. His post-presidency work, especially with Habitat for Humanity, showed his commitment to building homes for the poor and living out the Christian principle of loving thy neighbor.
He spoke of his grandfather's work to eradicate diseases like guinea worm disease, a debilitating parasitic infection that plagued millions in Africa and Asia.
My grandfather's commitment to this cause was not just about improving public health. It was about restoring dignity and hope to those who had been forgotten by the world. It was about putting faith into action, about demonstrating God's love through tangible acts of service.
The grandson's tributes, heartfelt and deeply personal, painted a vivid portrait of a man who was as devoted to his family as he was to his country and his faith. They revealed the private side of a public figure, the loving grandfather who taught his grandchildren the importance of integrity, compassion, and service. Their words were a powerful reminder that legacy is not measured by titles or accolades, but by the lives touched and the difference made in the world. Section 5. A nation remembers Biden's eulogy and the power of example. President Joe Biden, a longtime friend of Carter's, delivered a moving eulogy that captured the essence of the man and his legacy.
Jimmy Carter's unwavering faith, his deep commitment to peace, and his belief in the inherent goodness of humanity are things we'll never forget. He was a practitioner of good works and a faithful servant who dedicated his life to building a more just and compassionate world.
Biden recalled Carter's post-presidency work, highlighting his efforts to promote democracy, human rights, and global health.
Carter had the courage to speak truth to power, even when it was unpopular. He believed in the power of diplomacy and dialogue to resolve conflict, and he never wavered in that belief.
Biden's eulogy was not merely a tribute to a fallen leader, but a call to action, a challenge to all those present to live up to the example set by Jimmy Carter. Other dignitaries, including former President Bill Clinton and former Vice President Al Gore, offered their own reflections on Carter's life and legacy. They spoke of his intelligence, his humility, and his unwavering commitment to public service. They shared anecdotes of his dry wit, his infectious laugh, and his genuine desire to make a difference in the world. The tributes, both personal and profound, painted a portrait of a leader who had left an indelible mark on the world. They spoke of a man who had embodied the best of America, its idealism, its compassion, and its unwavering belief in the power of hope to overcome even the darkest of times.